Some people say that living a slow life is a privilege for the lazy or the unemployed or the retired, that it's a luxury most people can't afford. Well, I'm here to tell you it is all about time management. Once upon a time, I was a hustler, a multitasker, a headless chicken running around with 1,000 things on my plate. And that ended up in burnout, with consequences I still deal with to this day. To say some changes needed to be made is an understatement. And these are the easy changes I make to slow down my life. Now, this first thing I did may sound a bit heartless or rude, but it really isn't. It all starts with becoming much more selective with who and what I spend my time on. It meant stopping being friends with people who didn't really make me feel that good. We all have those friends that we consider friends because we've known them for so long, but that for whatever reason, being around them is more of a chore than a delight. Cut them out. And the same goes for social or work events that you'd rather not attend. If it isn't mandatory, skip it and do something you want to do instead. Also, I created tight boundaries between me and my boss. And by this, I mean not letting them rope me into working overtime or answering calls or emails outside of my work hours. And it's up to you to stand up for yourself. And now that I no longer have a boss and I'm actually self-employed, it's about being disciplined with my work hours and keeping my work and my personal time as separate as possible. Because let's face it, we all think we can multitask, right? Well, that's a myth actually. Multitasking does not make you more productive, quite on the contrary. And as far as living a simple life goes, it could not be more of an opposite. Slow living is about being present in the moment, to be mindful of everything you do. Multitasking is about throwing a bunch of balls in the air and try to juggle them all. So now I just do one thing at a time, and guess what? Things still get done, and the quality of my work has only improved. And how about not having to do all the work? One of my biggest changes was to outsource or delegate as much as I could. Granted, with the YouTube channel, I'm not quite at the stage where I can get someone to edit my videos or do my thumbnails, for example. But you can get someone to clean the house for you or get one of those robot vacuums. You can also order out instead of having to cook every single day. Small things you can change that will help you slow your life down by living with a lot of extra time on your hands. Slow living also meant embracing my life's imperfections, like not having my house perfectly clean all the time. Well, I do live with 2 cats and 1 dog, so it was never going to be perfectly clean in the first place. Or the fact that my car is really old and filled with dents. But it takes me to where I need to be, and I do not need to work harder to pay for a new one. Or that I sometimes don't iron my clothes before going out. Everything and anything you can think of, there are really small details that are eating into your free time. Things don't have to be perfect for you to be happy. So make a mental list of things you can let go and still feel great living your simple, slower life. Now, the same goes with your daily to-do list. Is everything on there a priority, or are there things you can cross out to make time to live slower? I used to have these huge to-do lists, but I guess it was because I felt such a rush crossing them all off. But when that huge list weighs you down and takes precious time away from you and makes you rush, maybe you should consider crossing a few off in the first place. A to-do list that has more tasks than you can humanly complete without feeling exhausted isn't a to-do list. It's just a major stressor that will never get done. So look at it and see what you can strike off in order to slow down. Now, this next one may surprise you, but one of the things I changed in my life in order to slow down was to clean up my closet. Now, I am not a fan of a capsule wardrobe because I like having options, but there is a middle ground between a capsule wardrobe and so many clothes you waste half an hour trying to decide what to wear. For me, anything I buy means giving something away and having all my clothes on display so I can easily look at them and make a choice. I've told you earlier, slow living is about time management, and nothing is more wasteful than time spent making silly decisions like what to wear. You will look great in anything, so just pick an outfit already. But I guess the biggest change I've made in my life to slow my life down is to start my day intentionally slower. And this is something that's hard to do when you start, but I promise that if you keep at it, it will become natural. cycle. From the moment I wake up, I slow things down. I stretch and meditate. I eat breakfast slowly and present in the moment. And if I have an early start, I just wake up a little bit earlier to make sure I can do things slowly. Everything I do it calmly and peacefully. And if I catch myself starting to rush, I slow down or just stop altogether. I drink a cup of tea slowly. I take the dog out for a walk. Anything that will help me get back to my slow mind frame. Life is too short to rush past it, so be present. Live each moment with enthusiasm and intention. That's what slow living is all about. That's what living life to the fullest is all about.